Guys, Arrma 10 scale basher, I guess you'd call it. It's an Arrma Vortek 223S. She looks pretty good, doesn't she? Listen, watch this video, guys. It's pretty cool. So, Arrma Vortek 223S 4x4. Well, it was at one point, but yeah, guys, my friend had a little bit of a crash. So this car is a friend of mine. He's Israel, and he's an RC guy. An electric guy. He's not a Nitro guy, but he called me up and he's like, man, I had a little bit of crash in my Vortex, man. Can you take a look at it? So he brought it over, and well, I took it apart. I gave him a parts list. He gave me the parts. I'll put it back together for you. And again, guys, this is something I'm just doing for a friend. There's no money exchanging hands. I'm just taking care of my friend. So I gave him a list of parts we needed, which was basically going to be the tub and the upper bulkhead for the front. And well, he went on Jenny's and he bought all the plastics off of quite a few, not quite a few Vortex, but enough stuff to make this Vortek be a Vortek again. And like the skid plates, all that, they're kind of rough, but we got some good stuff, so let's go ahead and put a Vortek back together. Now, there is certainly a good possibility that Israel may have bought a whole lot more stuff than he's actually going to need, but he's going to wind up with a whole bunch of spare plastic parts that he may or may not need. But hey, at the very least, he's going to have them. But I always say it's better to have and not need than need and not have. So that being said, he's going to have some spares. Now, he did mention he's got a very young son named Chevy, that little boy is getting very close to having fun with some RC cars. I think he's 3, little young, but so that damn air compressor is affecting what you guys can actually see, because I got to continue on with this thing, guys. I want to get this thing done by the end of the day, because I really want to do some Nitro stuff. Let's go ahead and swap these shocks out, because these shocks are leaking a little bit, and I think Iz paid 35 bucks for a new set of shocks from Jenny's. So, yeah, you're gonna give me new shocks, we might as well put them on, right? Absolutely. Guys, the cool thing about this Arrma line, these things are almost ambidextrous. It's almost like everything's almost the same front to rear, except for the chassis itself and the fact you got steering in the front. You know, guys, one of the crazier things is I never really asked Israel what he hit. I'm gonna guess it was a bit of a solid object, because it's not easy to break a chassis on any of the 223S line. And I understand that anything's breakable, but that was one hell of a hit. I mean, I get that things are going to happen, but I'll tell you what, I know for a fact Israel's not a bad driver, but I guess we all get, and I do find it a little odd, guys. You just watch me put the rear shocks on the front and the rear hubs on the front, because clearly we need steering on the front of this thing. But the coolest part about an Arrma anything is it's probably about the easiest things you work on. And I really honestly haven't found any RC car that was kind of hard to work on. A lot of people think the Traxxas Nitro Revo's hard, and I think those things are just kind of some of the easiest. So really, you had the wrong bulkhead cover on the top of that thing? Listen, guys, I took this thing apart a week ago, and I just blew it apart to see what was broke. So I would have to say, much more better. So now that we have proper bulkheads in the front, now we can go into the rear. And it's just a repeat of the front. You literally got 3 screws holding this thing together. And how Israel managed to destroy that front bulkhead and not bend a hinge pin is beyond me. In fact, the only damage he really had outside of that is one of the main rear bolts got bent and looks like in a jump, and I just put a new one in there. But you know what? I do certainly remember in 2015 when the Traxxas X-Max came out, it was the first ready-to-run 5th and or 6th scale vehicle that was $1,000. And well, guys, I had that X-Max all in for a day and a half, and I took out a concrete mailbox. And the worst part about that, there were absolutely no parts available. And the craziest thing is the hobby shop owner, he had allowed me to take the parts off his display model so I could play with my toy. And the name of that hobby shop, guys, was RC Revolution. They were on Okeechobee Boulevard, probably, oh, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes from my shop. This thing doesn't really need a dry shop, but it did chew up the splines a little bit in the front. But you know what they say, if you got a replacement, well, let's just go ahead and use it. No harm, no foul. Never hurts when you take the, you know, the new spring out. Didn't see that it was in there because it's supposed to be stuck to that other piece. But we're starting to look a little bit like an RC car there, gentlemen. Because the reality is, guys, everybody crashes. Everybody. I replaced more X-Max bulkheads. I replaced more broken wheels, more control arms, broken everything that I actually care to admit. But one thing I have to admit, guys, every crash I've ever had was due to lack of driver talent. And guys, I cannot stress this enough. Never take my videos as instructional. That's not what they're meant to be. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm fixing a buddy of mine's car. And not that Israel couldn't, it just Israel's got, he's got a wife, he's got a baby, he's got a lot going on in his life right now. And the cool part is, guys, I just thoroughly enjoy this. And once I get everything done next door, I can come over here and play. And guys, play, I will. Now, he had these Proline bone saws on here. He said he didn't like them, so on Jenny's, I think he paid 40 bucks. He's got another set of D-boot guitars, so let's go ahead and put those things on there. Probably might want to put the wheelie bar screws back in, just for the hell of it. And then we'll see what we got left hardware-wise, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I got batteries charging right now. So what we have left is this little teeny tiny, it looks like a 3mm with a 2.5 head on it. And well, hopefully Israel won't watch this video, but I'm pretty sure he will. All right, if I did my job by design, this body should fall right on. Hey, look at that, guys. We got a whole RC car now. So now that we got a whole RC car, let's go ahead and go through the whole thing. Now that it's not in a bunch of pieces, and just take a quick look at everything, make sure all the hardware's tight, all the wheels are doing the right thing, make sure everything's secure, tight with a power module, battery straps are where they need to be, we're clipped on our module, we've got a, yeah, we're good. Oh, wait a minute, that don't look right. That don't look right at all. Something tells me we got an issue. Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and knock this hex off there. Let's see what we're looking at. It appears we're missing something there. Possibly something in, bro, let's not lose that. That's what we like our magnets for. What are we missing? Interesting. We've got a bad outer hub. We are missing a wheel bearing, and we are absolutely missing the wheel bearing, if there's even supposed to be a bearing in there. Let's go ahead and take the other side apart and see what's supposed to be in there. So yeah, guys, there is 100% supposed to be a bearing in there. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking when Iz put the tires on, maybe the pin fell out, the hex came off, and the bearing fell out. He didn't know it, because that was not caused by the crash, guys. That was caused by the bearing just not being in there, or the potential that possibly Arrma never put the bearing in there in the first place. But I'm not sure. But listen, I'm a private RC shop. I have parts. Bearings, we got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an X-Acto knife, clean this up, get this bearing in there, and get this car back on the road. So I've already cut this little piece out. It looks like I can just run this around the edge, and as long as that little inner shoulder's in there, this thing should work out pretty good. And yeah, guys, it looks like it is going to take a bearing, win, lose, or draw. So this car will ride for the weekend. Maybe I got to take a little bit more out. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's going to work. Yeah, I would definitely say that is much more better. And God knows how long Israel rode this thing like this. But listen, he is a defender of our country. He is a military man. So we're going to give him a pass on that one because he's Army. But yeah. Now, he did have a battery in this thing when he brought it in, plugged in. Yeah, it came in a bucket, but there was a battery plugged in. And I'm not one to tell you guys what to do, because I'm guilty of it too, but do not leave your batteries plugged in. And more importantly, let's see what the charge is. This thing's been here a week. Jeez, we're showing 99% 12.5 volts. I mean, the balance is good. 41, 95, 96, 93, but man, so you left a hot battery plugged in a car that was wrecked, and I don't know when he wrecked it, how long it was before he brought it to me. But either way, guys, we're running from weather right now, or we got weather coming into us. Let's get this battery strapped in and see if this thing actually does Arrma things. All right, guys, let's turn this thing on and see if we actually have an RC car out of it. Take two. We're gonna try this again. Let's see if we actually made a running RC car out of this thing. And if she goes backwards, it's a non-censored brushless motor. You just swap over 2 wires. But let's see where we're at. You know, out of pure luck, made it work. All right, guys, on a side note, listen, my channel, either channel, Only Electric or Nitro Pimp, I am not about policies and procedures. If you're here to learn how to do something, you're probably in the wrong spot. I'm just here to show you what I'm doing. Not too many people will build an entire Vortek out of an 18-volt Milwaukee impact. You know what I mean? I'm not policies and procedures. If you guys want the prim and proper of this hobby, go to DoRC. DoRC, he's a buddy of mine. He is really good at that, and I'm really good at just putting stuff together and showing it to you in the best way I can. That being said, let's body this thing up, and we should take her outside because we have a storm coming in like you would not believe. But before we go outside, I will give you the one policy and procedure that you guys cannot, and I cannot stress enough, you guys cannot ignore. LiPo safety. Don't leave them plugged in, don't charge them unattended, and when you're not using them, put them on storage charge on your charger. These things can burn your house down, and hundreds of homes have been lost due to these things because people don't take care of them the way they need to be taken care of. There's a million LiPo safety videos out there, guys. Read them, and just bet you I'm going to bust Israel's ass when he comes up here to pick this car about leaving this battery at full charge plugged in on a wrecked car. All right, now we'll go outside. I'm going to step off my soapbox. So hopefully the rain isn't come yet. I haven't been outside, but it's been thundering and lightning out, something serious. And truth be told, this is the first time I've ever driven an Arrma Vortek before either. All right, so it's looking kind of dry. I like it. Seems to be doing proper Vortek things. Diff tuning seems really good because these things do have a center diff in them. This is the last generation, but it's so quiet. And guys, that big black cloud is what I'm talking about. It's not quite here yet, but it is on its way. But we'll get a little bit more fun out of this thing. Might as well use a little bit of the battery before I put it on storage charge for you, right, Israel? Or we'll just call him. Uh-oh, that can't be good. Well, that was interesting enough there, guys. So it looks like this little axle stump screws into the actual axle. So let's pull this axle out and see what we got going on there. I do see a little stud inside them. So yeah, guys, there's a little screw inside here, and they give you access to the center of the actual universal joint to put that thing on there. So let me just screw it back together. So yeah, guys, with that little hole, we can get it out of the way. I'm going to put a little tiny drop of thread locker in this thing. We're going to bolt it back together. It doesn't look like we need any parts. Looks like this thing is just going to do its thing. Well, I'm glad it happened to me and not Israel, because he might not quite have known what to do with all that, and I certainly wouldn't expect him to. Let's bolt this thing back together, guys, and I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but the rain has come. So we are not going back outside with this thing today, unfortunately, because this thing does seem like a bit of a fun little rig. She got some power to her. Never owned a 223S before, but well, what makes me a good mechanic, guys, is well, I know how to take things apart and put them back together. That's something I'm good at. Man, yeah, that's ugly, guys. That is just ugly. And Iz gets to take home a whole box of some new plastics and some not so new plastics. But listen, they're not staying here. Well, guys, it's pouring out. I really wanted to play with this thing a little bit more, and it's probably waterproof, but my camera is not. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Some old middle-aged guy just playing with RC toys, fixing a vehicle for his buddy. This is kind of a fun little truck. I might even consider getting one, but I got some new release tracks that's coming up here real soon that I want to get going on. So, but listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. You know, it's kind of funny that that axle would come apart, and this is the side that was missing the wheel bearing, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully Israel can get a whole bunch more fun out of this thing, get a lot more miles on it before he breaks it again. If he breaks it again, I'm going to fix it again, because that's what I do. But listen, guys, I will see you on the next one.